now on the CTV News at 5. A tentative agreement is reached between the Alberta government and the teachers' union. Plus, the search for a missing 5-year-old boy in the Crow's Nest Pass is now into its 4th day. And a last-minute reprieve for hundreds of ostriches on a BC farm.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. It has been 4 days since anyone last saw 5-year-old Darius McDougall in the Crow's Nest Pass. The young boy was hiking with his 6 siblings when he became separated Sunday morning. As Carson Marsouk reports, as the search continues, so too does the support from those in the area.
The Crow's Nest Lake Bible Camp has reopened to provide accommodations for crews trying to find 5-year-old Darius McDougall.
RCMP is confirming that the search for Darius is still continuing in full force, with every responding unit working together in their fullest capacity.
Darius was walking with 6 siblings on a remote mountain road near Island Lake Campground around 11:30 Sunday morning. He somehow became separated from the other children. McDougall has autism, and police say that may prevent him from responding to anyone calling his name. During day 4 of the search, dozens of people are combing through dense brush and steep terrain. They analyzed and dismissed what they thought could have been the missing boy's blood. An underwater search also came up empty.
Current search radius is at 3 kilometers and is gradually being pushed out to 6.6 kilometers. Overnight last night, search teams continued ground searches supported by 1 RCMP helicopter, 2 search and rescue dogs from the Canadian Search Dog Association.
Well, searchers focus on an area about 2 kilometers off of Highway 3 near the Alberta-BC boundary. The Salvation Army has been brought in to provide meals.
We're invested in our community. We're happy to help. And so when opportunities come along like this, when there is an emergency or disaster that's happening, it's kind of part of our mandate to come along and support our community members.
Despite some chilly nights and long days, officials remain optimistic that Darius will be found alive.
Based on consultation with a couple leading Alberta physicians on wilderness medicine, we are working on the assumption that Darius is very much alive, and everyone is working on to a tempo to reflect that. We very much still believe him to be alive and are not letting up the search efforts as a result of that.
They say it's too soon to call this a recovery operation. Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Crow's Nest Pass.
Victim services staff from both the RCMP and Search and Rescue are providing support for the family. RCMP at this time, foul play is not considered a factor, but they are continuing their investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers. The Alberta government and the province's teachers' union have reached a tentative agreement, and now it is up to teachers to vote on it. The Alberta Teachers Association and Finance Minister announced a proposed deal this morning, but they aren't sharing many details about the tentative agreement. The ATA only saying it addresses salary and classroom complexity issues, including the hiring of an additional 3,000 staff over 3 years. 51,000 teachers from the public, Catholic, and Francophone school divisions have threatened to walk off the job on October the 6th if a deal is not reached. They previously rejected a proposal back in May and voted 95% in favor of a strike.
I don't think there's going to be that kind of language in this deal. I suspect we may see a slight sweetener on the money aspect. And obviously, some other smaller issues like the COVID shots and that kind of thing, which tells me that it won't be all that dissimilar than the one in May, which is why I have my uncertainties about whether this will get ratified or not.
Teachers will vote on the tentative agreement between this Saturday and following Monday. If they agree to it, a strike is averted. If they don't, the strike will go ahead on October the 6th unless another deal can be presented and voted on before then, which could be tight. Danielle Savoni, another sunny day in southern Alberta. Aren't you getting bored of this yet?
No, I don't think any of us are getting very bored of this just yet. We will not hold on to this excessive heat for too much longer. So don't get bored of it, enjoy it. Let's talk about where we are today. Today isn't quite as warm as yesterday. We do have a bit of a jet stream dipping down towards us, but it's not going to reach the far south. So for tomorrow, we're still looking at hot temperatures. Now we took a bit of a dip today. We're at 19 degrees right now, which is closer to normal, mainly sunny skies. And to give you a little look at where everybody is sitting at the moment, 23 in Medicine Hat, 19 in Pincher Creek, and 20 in Milk River. I'll have your full forecast coming up, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Farmers across southern Alberta are working hard to bring in the last of this year's harvest. A group of local high schoolers are also hard at work on their own harvest. Quinn Keenan tells us more.
Students at Winston Churchill High School are taking their learning outside the classroom. Instead of writing tests or doing projects, they're harvesting pumpkins and butternut squash, among other vegetables. It's a part of the school's agri-gardening program.
There are other schools that have community gardens on their property. However, for us, we're the first in our school division to actually offer a class that goes with it. So students, when they come and they work outside, we also have an indoor portion as well. Students get credit for their time in this class as well.
Teachers Joel Hayland and Jeff Waugh came up with the idea about 3 years ago. After lots of hard work and community donations, the garden is flourishing.
Just one staff meeting put a little bug in his ear and said, like, hey, I like gardening. I've been doing it for the last several years at my house. It's in the CTS curriculum. Would you be interested in pitching a course to our admin to see if we can get approval?
About 36 students are able to take part in the program each semester. Students who previously had no interest in gardening now have the skills to plant their own garden at home.
I feel like the garden space has been, I feel like it's genuinely been like a really good change in the school, because I feel like there's not much of it recently, and you know, like this could actually be like a reason why people start going into more agricultural like studies and universities and whatnot. So I feel like it is a really good change.
The program is having a positive impact in the community as well. Last week, the Interfaith Food Bank came by and harvested donations to be given out to the community. The rest will be given to students or used in cooking at the school to make pumpkin pie, vegetable soup, and more.
Kindness lives here, and I really think that, you know, there's no way that we can put a measure on the kind of work that these kids have put in. They're wonderful. They show no selfishness. They've just want to provide, and they've learned how to accommodate the needs of others.
Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Lethbridge Polytechnic is always trying new ways to get young people interested in public safety careers, and their newest tool, virtual reality. The Polytechnic has received $450,000 from the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. The funding will be used to develop VR experience for youth interested in public safety careers. The Polytechnic is partnering with VR Core on the project. The Calgary-based company will chip in over $100,000 towards the project.
We're looking at get the people in the door for the training. We want people that might consider a career in policing but may shy away from it because, again, recent movements, media events, we want to show them there's more to it than that.
The Polytechnic has also been developing VR programs to help with law enforcement training. Canadian privacy authorities say TikTok's efforts to block children and protect their personal information are inadequate.
TikTok collects vast amounts of personal information about its users, including children. This data is being used to target the content and ads that users see, which can have harmful impacts, particularly on youth.
A joint investigation found hundreds of thousands of Canadian children have accessed TikTok annually, despite the company saying its video sharing platform is not intended for people under the age of 13. It also found TikTok has been collecting and using their personal information. TikTok has agreed to strengthen its communication on privacy measures and enhance methods to prevent underage access. The town of Coaldale is putting the brakes on photo radar at least until the end of the year. The decision was made in response to the town locking out its employees earlier this month over a labor dispute, as well as the ongoing contract negotiations at Canada Post. Mayor Jack Van Ryan says council believes if you receive a traffic ticket, it should be delivered to you in a timely manner, not months later due to circumstances beyond your control. Van Ryan says they currently have a backlog of photo radar tickets. Offending drivers will be sent warnings instead of tickets. Council will review the photo radar program in the new year. The Supreme Court of Canada has granted a last-minute stay to 400 ostriches on a BC farm. The cull will remain on hold until the High Court considers an application for leave to appeal. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has been on the farm in the West Kootenay region of BC for days, preparing for the cull of nearly 400 birds. The CFIA will remain there, maintaining custody of the ostriches until the ruling is made. The cull order was given shortly after avian flu was detected in the flock last December. Tensions have been mounting at the farm, and overnight a hay wall was set on fire. The University of Lethbridge is recognizing one of its recent graduates. Olympian Casey Bosch has been named 2025 Young Alumnus of the Year. Bosch spent 4 years on the Pronghorns basketball team before earning a Bachelor's of Arts in 2020. After her time at the U of L, she transitioned to 3-on-3 basketball. She became a member of Team Canada shortly after representing Canada at the 2024 Paris Olympics. In 2022, she took on an assistant coaching position with the Pronghorns. Bosch also earned a Bachelor's of Education in 2024. For the first time in 30 years, RCMP officers are getting an update to their uniform shirts. The service says it's working to modernize the uniforms worn by its members and will be rolling out these new navy blue shirts on a province-by-province basis starting in Prince Edward Island next month. The RCMP says the process will take 18 months, and so some officers will still be wearing the original gray shirts for a while. We're going to find out more about that weekend forecast right after this break when Danielle returns. And an Alberta study reveals some surprising conclusions to the province's doctor shortage.
All right, well, outside it's quiet, it's bright in pretty much all of the far south. It's not quite as warm as what we had yesterday, mainly in the high teens, low 20s. To put it in perspective, we're around 19 in Lethbridge right now, but at this time yesterday we were at 30 degrees. So yeah, it's a difference in temperature, but still around normal. Calgary got to a high of 19 as well for today. As you can see here, check out Edmonton though, just 13 degrees. Regina has all of our heat at 31 as a high today there. Toronto got to 22 and Halifax 18. Okay, when we look closer to home here, it's 20 right now in Milk River, 23 in Medicine Hat, and 19 in Pincher Creek and Lethbridge. And at this point in Calgary, Calgary's dropped down to 16 for the day, so we're starting to cool off for the evening there. Okay, today's maximum wind gusts, a little bit breezy, but nothing really significant. Lethbridge closer to 40 kilometers per hour, Pincher Creek as well, and Medicine Hat 37 was the maximum wind gust. Brooks, though, did get to 46. So at times it's a little gusty. That will continue on and off for the next couple of hours because this jet stream is getting fairly close to us now. So ahead of the jet stream, which you can see in the cloud cover there, that's going to create somewhat windy conditions as we head through these next couple of hours. We may even see a little cloud cover here and there, but overall, it's going to bounce back up to another ridge of high pressure. So that means the jet stream, as you can see by this, is going to shift back up. The clouds follow along the jet stream here, and so does all of that moisture. So tomorrow we will be under a ridge of high pressure. It will be stable, it will be sunny, and temperatures will be able to climb higher again for tomorrow. Today we've mainly had winds out of the north, and that cooled things down a little bit, whereas tomorrow we're going to have the winds out of the west. Friday, though, looks a little unstable. By Friday, we'll have some cloud cover in the far south and even the potential for an isolated shower. Smaller chance of seeing the rain, but there is a possibility of that, especially in the morning hours on Friday. For the next 24 hours in the East Kootenay area, 8 degrees overnight, clear skies, sunshine for tomorrow, a little gusty though, up to 50 kilometers per hour. That's out of the southwest, so it will be a warm enough day at 26 degrees. Crowsnest Pass 6 overnight, gusty for the next few hours out of the west at 50 kilometers per hour, and that will bounce back again to 50 kilometers per hour tomorrow afternoon, and you're looking at a high of 26 with sunshine. Similar idea for the Medicine Hat area. We're going to switch though. Winds out of the north now to winds out of the south tomorrow, and that's why temperatures will climb. That's a warmer wind, sunshine, 29 degrees for Medicine Hat tomorrow, and similar for Lethbridge. Gusts around 50 kilometers per hour, 29 and sunny. Small chance of an isolated shower on Friday, and as you can see by Friday, we get into those lower 20s.
University of Calgary study says as Alberta family doctors deal with sicker, more complicated patients, the province needs to increase supports. The study spans from 2004 to 2020. In that time, it found Alberta struggled to retain primary care doctors while the population increased. Baby boomers aged and the caseload for doctors climbed. The number of patients with 5 or more health conditions has doubled. The study's lead investigator from the Cummings School of Medicine suggests primary care offices that group allied health professionals under one roof would improve working conditions for doctors and improve patient care. And the issue is present across Canada.
It's not just an Alberta problem. Yes, young physicians are choosing not to do primary care or family medicine like they used to. There's not the cachet. They can choose other careers where they can make more money and frankly where they don't have to run an office, where it might be easier from a lifestyle perspective.
The province says it is expanding primary care networks and a new primary care physician compensation model has been implemented. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, we're learning more about Major League Baseball's plans to start using robot umpires next season. We've got sports next. Some deaf athletes from Alberta are worried a funding crunch could prevent them from competing on the world stage. The Deaf Olympics are scheduled for November in Tokyo. Marathon runner Marisol Naravis says this is supposed to be her first games. Canadian deaf athletes are facing a severe financial crisis, and the lack of cash could jeopardize their shot at competing.
This is an opportunity for elite athletes to come to an international stage, and to not be able to have that opportunity because funding was the barrier is incredibly disheartening. And I think, again, there's an opportunity to have that conversation and build awareness, but also an opportunity for people to step up and donate to athletes like myself to help send us to games.
The Canadian Deaf Sports Association says it is working to raise $100,000 to help send athletes to the games. A seasoned bodybuilder and fitness coach from Canmore added a new title to her list after she punched her ticket to the Natural Strong Woman Championships. Fiona Groves earned a top 5 spot in her weight class in Galway, Ireland. Groves competed against 9 other women in the Masters lightweight division. She first dipped her toes into the strongman competition world back in March after hearing about the games from a client. Next up on Groves' competition docket is Strongman Corporation Nationals. That will happen in Alberta October the 4th. The pressure is on for the Toronto Blue Jays as they take on the Boston Red Sox tonight in the hope to keep their top spot in the league overall. Now, the only certainty for baseball fans, though, at this point is what's coming next season. Automated umpires in the major leagues. CTV's Adrian Gabriel has this preview of the future.
But it's a strike, and again, not reviewable. Oh, boy. And then that call goes against them.
In baseball, 3 strikes has always meant you're out.
That ball a good 3 inches off the outside corner.
Often leading to close quarter disagreements.
They are yelling at each other like this close, like face to face. The really immature managers are kicking dirt on the ump.
And Billy is not going to go quietly. They've been sort of like Supreme Court justices. There has been no higher court.
That will change as of next season. Major League Baseball confirming that each team will get 2 chances to challenge a ball or a strike as it ushers in the era of robot umpiring using an automated ball strike system known as ABS.
This is a very good day for baseball fans, because the last thing you want is games ended because of a bad call.
Utilizing a dozen cameras positioned around the field, ABS technology is also being used in tennis and football. The league says it will take no more than 15 seconds for a challenged pitch to be decided.
And the average replay challenge took 13.8 seconds. And there's only 4 challenges in the course of a game. So we're literally talking about 57 seconds added to a game.
Baseball pundits say the move can't come soon enough.
Baseball's been going on since the 19th century. Baseball's been going on since before the First World War. And now they're finally doing this.
It's important to note that the human element of the game will remain unchanged. Umpires will still be behind home plate. Those we spoke with, though, hope this will encourage the men in black to step up their game. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
2,358 baseball fans took part in a world record-setting game of catch to honor famous Yankees catcher Yogi Berra. The event was called Yogi's Big Catch and was part of several celebrations for what would have been Berra's 100th birthday. Organizers said there were only 2 rules: no rolling the ball and no looking at your phones, people. Jimmy Kimmel making an emotional return on ABC last night after a week-long suspension over his comments on the Charlie Kirk shooting. We are back with that story after this break. Jimmy Kimmel made his return last night. ABC's Trevor Alt has the latest.
Walking out to a thunderous standing ovation overnight, Jimmy Kimmel returning to late-night TV after a week off the air.
Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted,
Kimmel's show was suspended amid apparent threats from the Trump administration following the host's comments last Monday about the ideology of the alleged shooter in Charlie Kirk's murder. Growing emotional, Kimmel now clarifying his remarks.
I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. For those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way.
But Kimmel was also back telling jokes, taking a jab at President Trump.
You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly.
After the taping of the show, President Trump weighing in overnight, blasting ABC's decision to put Kimmel back on the air, saying his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny? In a statement, Disney said Kimmel's show had been suspended to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. Kimmel shedding light on what happened behind the scenes.
I was not happy when they pulled me off the air on Wednesday. I did not agree with that decision, and I told them that, and we had many conversations.
The host also thanked those who came out to support him, including his fans, his fellow late-night hosts, and even voices on the right.
Maybe most of all, I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway.
But not everyone was able to watch. Nexstar and Sinclair, media groups that own dozens of local ABC affiliates, are still not broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel live. Kimmel using his opening monologue to defend free speech.
Look, I never imagined I would be in a situation like this. I barely paid attention in school. But one thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.